as the actual eyeshadows themselves, you guys can see they are still very, very pigmented and beautiful. And then if we go in the shade, this is probably the worst brush I have ever seen. If you guys can see, just look at how the hairs on it are like all over the place.
Hey guys, it's me, Christina Marie. I went to TJ Maxx. I am trying out Ellen Tracy. I grabbed a bunch of different eyeshadow palettes, highlighter palettes, things like that. I want to try some cheaper makeup. This is $6.99. You get 24 colors, and this is $4.99. You get 4 humongous pans of highlighter. Now, is it safe? Is it safe? Is it good? I don't know. Let's go ahead and just jump to that video and tell you guys. But one of my recommendations is when you get makeup from these stores, please, please, please purchase them when they have the shield, the protective shield on top, because I did notice when I was digging through the makeup and stuff, some people kind of dig their fingers into these palettes, which make them unsanitary, but these had the shield, the protective shield, so you know that they were fresh and good. So let's go ahead and just jump to this video and show you how I did this eyeshadow look. What do I think of this brand and TJ Maxx? $4.99, $6.99. I don't know. Let's just jump to that video right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into the eyeshadow palette. This eyeshadow palette, I did kind of notice like the packaging is that plastic packaging. It kind of reminds me of the Urban Decay Naked palettes, but in a much, much larger size. So I do like that they have this, whoops, that fell out, this plastic cover to it. Let's go ahead and take it off. Now, the brush here is just crap. This is probably the worst brush I have ever seen. If you guys can see, just look at how the hairs on it are like all over the place. And this is just one of those like, well, sponges, I guess you could say, but that is horrific. So we will not be using this. And plus it's just very, very, very hard plastic. I'm going to go ahead and swatch it really quick in fast motion for you guys to see if they're pigmented or not. So we're going to do 4 fingers at a time. So all I'm going to do is going to go back and forth like this.
Oh, very nice. Wow. 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 Look how rich these colors are.
Look how many there are for $6.99. Oh my gosh. So if I'm looking through all these swatches, which that is a lot of swatches, there are only 4 matte colors. That's fine. Let's go ahead and just dive in. I think I'm going to actually put the green on my eyes since I have a green shirt. Beautiful, beautiful, stunning colors. Oh, and I forgot to remove the plastic off the mirror. You guys can see. Let's see if it's a good mirror. The mirror is a little warped. I don't know if you guys can tell that. The reflection of my face, the mirror is a tad bit warped, but whatever. It was $6.99. So I'm going to go ahead and normally I'd never put a shimmer in my crease, but since I'm pretty much limited here, I'm going to go ahead and put this brown shimmer right here. If you guys don't want to watch the eyeshadow look and me doing the look, just jump forward to the highlighter palette to see if we like that as well.
So that's not extremely shimmery, and I am kind of digging my brush a lot into it. So this is obviously a buildable a buildable eyeshadow that you start gradual and you just build and build. All I'm doing is sweeping it back and forth in my crease area in these windshield wiper motions. Now to lift my eye, what I will do is I will take the eyeshadow, so I'm not going completely like this, I'm not going down. I'm kind of just going like more, where this is a little bit more straight at the edges. That kind of gives your eye a little bit of a lift, so it doesn't look like your eyes are as droopy if you have any of saggy skin, hooded lids, or any problems with aging eyes. So if this is just a little bit more straight here, obviously it's going to lift the eye up. I'm going to go ahead and go with this darker matte right on top of that. Now I'm going to leave, grab a new brush. I am going to leave this color peeking through, so it's just going to be a little bit below. So you guys can see I'm going back into the crease area, but leaving that transition color exposed right there on the top. Just a pinch, just to deepen the crease color. And this is laying down beautifully. Pigmented, I haven't had to dig as much as I did with the first transition color. Now, I think I was so impressed with this red under my bracelet. I'm going to go ahead and dive right into that. You can see, look how much it picked up on the brush. Wow. Let me tap some of this extra off. I'm going to put this over here. Let's see here. Where are we going to put this? We're going to put this over here. Oh. What a gorgeous, gorgeous color. Now, I'm only going to put this in the inner portion of my lid area, and I'm going to put the green on the outside, so we're just doing it like that. go ahead and wipe off that brush, and I'm going to go dive into that beautiful green that I swatched, which is kind of matches my shirt, like a hunter green. Wow, look at that. Picked up a lot. And I'm going to go ahead and pat it down right next to this. Wow, look at that. Now I'm patting versus doing strokes because I think it's like the transition between the two colors looks better if you just kind of pat it down a little.
Now I'm just going to sweep it a little bit over on the lower part of the crease. Just like that.
Let's try this little brush it came with. I think I'm going to go with this copper color, and I'm going to put it right at my corner. Ooh, tiny amount. It's going to go right in the inner corner right here. Wow, that's a beautiful color. Can you guys see? Look at how much the light reflects off of it. I'm going to go with the matte cream, put it right under my eyebrow. Now I'm going to take this tiny little brush here and that transition color, and I'm going to put it right underneath the eye, just like this. Just patting it down and then smoothing it under. Make sure that you touch the corner so everything just smoothly goes together. When I say touch the corner, I mean connect the bottom to the top eyeshadow right there.
So let's just dive in. You guys can see it has a plastic on it, so nobody's touched it. Nobody's fingers have been in my makeup. So let's go ahead and swatch it on the other arm first and see if we like it before putting it on the cheek. So let's go ahead and go with this white. This is interesting. It looks like a marble. Okay. That's very, very white.
Okay, so it's very white looking here, but when you swatch it, it's actually like a gray champagne color. I don't know if you guys can really tell. Yeah, you can tell right there. It's like a gray champagne color. Let's go to the one next to it. Wow. That has very like yellow greenish undertones. And this is pure white. Whoa. The shine on this is remarkable. And that is a beautiful champagne, whiter champagne color. You guys can see it right there. When I turn sideways, you more can see the champagne. Very, very interesting.
I think I'm going to try the less traditional one, and that would be this greenish undertone one. So the reflectant property, you guys can see, it's very reflectant. I'm just not sure how I feel about the color.
Because it's very, very unique with that green undertone.
Okay, so I'm going to go right over it with the champagne up here. And see if it will tone it down, or yeah, it changes the color to actually more white. When I tell you I have an extreme amount of highlighter on, that is extreme. So they are pretty, don't get me wrong. I just almost feel like my skin looks a little bit more textured. They do feel a little bit like chalky, a little chunky, some of them, but I mean, for a highlighter that's that cheap with that much reflection is pretty darn good. Look at that. But I prefer maybe like a Wet n Wild highlighter, especially Wet n Wild loose highlighters, because let me just kind of grab some from here and show you. So I am a big fan of the Wet n Wild highlighters. You guys can see I just dip my finger into it, and then I'm going to run it like this, and look at that. It is super smooth. It's almost like it goes into every little crevices, and so it kind of like, it blurs, it fills in. Look at that, that's beautiful. Versus this, I feel like it accentuates some of my patchiness to my skin or my rough areas. Okay, I'm gonna put some lipstick on, some eyeliner, and some lashes, and I will be right back. Okay guys, so my makeup is complete. I just put some eyeliner and some lashes on, some lipstick. I am done. So what do I think about this? I honestly will say that yes, they're not a top designer brand, but come on, I get 24 eyeshadows, 24 in a metal container that are pretty darn pigmented. Look at those beautiful colors. Look at my eyeshadow. It's pretty. Okay, maybe they're not like a high designer end eyeshadows, but they were pretty darn pigmented for $6.99, and I get 24 shades. So yeah, just to make sure that they do have the plastic on top of the colors, so people aren't digging their fingers. What did I think of the highlighter palette? Now, I honestly can say that I think it's a little extreme. I think if you have flawless skin, this is a great deal, because obviously it's not going to accentuate older skin like mine, aging skin where you have more texture and things like that. But I think it's, look at how humongous the pan is. The pan is humongous. And for the price, this was $4.99. So if you guys are on a budget, I would totally recommend going and stopping by TJ Maxx and trying some of these palettes out. I will be trying some other brands as well from a TJ Maxx, like the Nicole Miller. I got Nicole Miller, and then I got a huge cargo eyeshadow palette here. Now, I do want to tell you, I did score. I totally scored, and I got Anastasia Beverly Hills, the Sultry palette. And we both know that this is high dollar right here. These are extremely good quality. I think this was $27 when it is normally $45. So yes, TJ Maxx, you can get some steals there. And if you're on a tight budget and want a variety of colors, I honestly, truly would say, you know what? Go try this Ellen Tracy palettes that they have there. If you have flawless skin, do their highlighter palette. But for the eyeshadows, I'm going to totally recommend them. Yes, they're not like super top designer, and maybe they're not like the highest quality materials in the eyeshadow. They did not irritate my eye. You guys can see all the swatches are pigmented and beautiful. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button, little subscribe button, and the tiny little bell next to it for notifications of new videos. I'm Christina Marie. I'm out. Bye. Okay, as I'm looking at my makeup in the light, like, it gives the skin so much texture. Like, I'm gonna just say I don't recommend it. I look very odd and weird, very alien-like today, just because the highlighter is not natural. If I wore this out, I would totally just wear it to a club, but just looking at my arm once again. Okay, so I take that back. I'm in the full sunlight, and you guys can see the colors on my arms. These are the highlighters, and they're really not super blingy like I thought. This is the Wet n Wild that was on the top of my hand. You can see the reflection of the highlighter and how bling in comparison to this. And then I was looking at my makeup in the light. This is just not impressive for the highlighter, so I'm gonna actually give the highlighter a thumbs down now that I'm here in the sun. Look, if I even put it in the shade, you really can't tell, but check this out. Here's this in the sun, that's the Wet n Wild, and then you put it in the shade, you can still see the reflectance in it, the bling, if you want to put it. As far as the actual eyeshadows themselves, you guys can see they are still very pigmented and beautiful. And then if we go in the shade, so here's the shade, you guys can see the colors are still pretty much all there, but this just looks very alien-like. So I would pass on the highlighter and totally recommend getting the eyeshadow palette.